Hey everybody, this is Tonjia Atomic, and I'm doing a series where I'm taking a book from my childhood, rereading it, and I'm going to let you know what I remember from the book, and then what really happens in the book, and how those two things compare. I did my first one on the book Interstellar Pig, and I thought it came out really interesting. There was so much I didn't remember about this book, and so much I sort of made up in my head over the years. I want to take another book that I sort of have a hazy memory on, but that I know that I read, and test my knowledge on that book as well. So this next book is going to be Lizard Music by Daniel Pinkwater. Now, I know I read this in elementary school. It was a long time ago. And this book, here's what I think I remember. So this book is about a boy who is living with, it's about a boy, and he's, sent to stay with someone, grandparents, uncle, something. And this other relative, this uncle, let's say, teaches him about the lizard people. He tells him all about the lizard people that come from outer space and stuff. And he thinks it's this crazy story. And then one day he sees them. He sees the lizard people, and the lizard people are walking around, and they are wearing these weird chainmail type clothes, and they have these wristwatches on that looks like a rock taped to your wrist, and they look at it, but he can't see anything on it, so he thinks it's really weird, but he's hiding from the lizard people. And then he learns that he can't judge a book by the cover. He can't judge a book by its cover. The lizard people are good, and he helps them out. They actually come from the middle of the earth and not outer space, although I could be making that up based on a conspiracy theory that maybe I heard. And then he befriends them, he helps them, and gets them back to they come from the middle of the earth from a different time. They're actually time travelers. And he helps them, and everything goes good in the end. So the only things I'm sure about, I just made a lot of that up. The only things I'm sure about is there's a boy, there's lizard people, and there's the rock wrist thing. That's the only thing I remember that I feel like I'm pretty 99% sure of. So let's see how well I did. Wow. Okay, guys. This was nothing like I remembered at all. I think the only things in it that were the same was there's a boy in it, and then the lizards are in it. And there is a part at the end where they look at there's a stone on their wrist, and they are looking at it like it's a watch, but it's not. And you find out, and it's part of the humor, you find out they're just pretending, so it wasn't like magic or anything. And the lizard people live off an island, not in the middle of the earth or whatever. So I really did not remember this. So what it is it's about a boy who gets accidentally left alone, or unbeknownst to his parents, he gets left alone for the summer. And he starts noticing all these unusual things, starting with lizards playing music that comes on at the end of the night on the local, I think it's the local station, but the TV station that he watches, at the end of the night there'll be these lizards playing music, and they don't look like men in lizard costumes, they look like actual lizards. And he goes on these adventures, he leaves the house and goes and does stuff, but at first he's just making little easy microwave meal type things and taking care of himself, and then he'll see the lizards, and then he goes on these adventures, and he meets a guy who has a chicken, and the guy is very confusing because he keeps changing his name and stuff like that. But as I was discovering, which I didn't understand when I was a kid, because I probably didn't understand this kind of thing, is there's a lot of sort of absurd humor grounded in the real world. So it's sort of a magical realism kind of thing, but absurd too, a little bit. like sort of along the lines of Tom Robbins, but a little bit different. A little bit goofy, but sort of interesting. And some of the humor is really cute. Like some of the stuff written through the eyes of a child, like the movies that he watches are obviously supposed to be movies that we would know. Like there's one that's supposed to be like the Pod People. I think it's called something different in the movie or in the book, but through his eyes, the way he describes it, it's a certain way, and we get that he's taking it a certain way, and all the movies and the shows and the things that he's experiencing, he describes from his point of view, and as readers we understand why some of that is funny, because he takes it in a way that through the eyes of a child. And there's other kind of funny things, like he's obsessed with Walter Cronkite. He loves Walter Cronkite, and he watches the news every night, and then he watches when Roger Mudd takes over and has his opinions about that too. And then so in the story he gets closer to the man who has the chicken. They call him the Chicken Man, and they end up uncovering the secret of the lizards, kind of. And then they end up traveling together and going to this island where the lizards live, which is in this lake where he lives, but it also travels and it's also cloaked. So most people can't see it, but they happen to get through one night. And while there, some things happen. I don't want to spoil anything. The meat of the story is when they're on the island there. That's towards the end. And the lizards have all these, like paintings and statues of Walter Cronkite and chickens, and they paint chickens over their doors at their houses and stuff. So it's, it's absurdist humor, and it's silly. And there's some stuff that, where it's dated and it wouldn't really hold up today, or would be kind of, strange to our modern sensibilities. But I think all of that stuff has to do with it's a product of its time. It probably fit in just fine at the time. And I don't think it was anything strange on the author's part. I think it was just like product of the time. And it's cute. I think it's really cute, and I think kids might enjoy it. I think I enjoyed it when I was a kid, but I know I didn't get a lot of the humor. So a lot of the humor was lost on me, and I probably took it really seriously, like a child who loves Walter Cronkite, and I just took all that seriously, and the lizard stuff, and whatever. And it's the kind of like this magical adventure for this kid. But yeah, it's really different than what I remembered. So yeah, they're on this lizard island, and he sees all these different things that happen there, and these exciting things happen, and then he leaves the island and is able to go back to his home. And they don't leave it like really open-ended, but there's things that are suggested that'll happen in the future that don't happen yet at the end of this book. Anyway, it's completely different than I thought it was. It's completely different. And yeah, the thing about them having wristwatch rocks, for some reason I really remembered that, and I took it real seriously. But in the book it's sort of a absurd little cute funny thing. I think it's supposed to be sort of humorous. Anyway, yeah, lizard music. D. Manus Pinkwater. The book I had said Daniel Pinkwater, and I always remembered that, but this one says D. Manus Pinkwater, and way different than what I remembered it was. An absurdist, magical adventure for a Walter Cronkite loving child and his new friends, the chicken and the lizards. Let me know in the comments below if there's any books that you want me to try to remember, common books that kids might have read, or if you want me to make up what I think the story is, and then compare. Let me know. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.